What's up, everybody? Welcome to Critique the Critics. My name is Tech.
I'm Kojak.
And I'm Wink.
Yes.
Sorry, I thought that needed energy.
Now, this is a podcast, not an actual YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah.
This, of course, is the show where we take a look at movies. More importantly, we take a look at the critics of movies and then review them and make fun of them. Today, we are taking a look at Zombieland, and actually, specifically, because we watched Zombieland with a bunch of followers of ours on Twitch. And if you want to do that with us every Saturday, you can do that by looking up Boss Level 8 on Twitch. So make sure you do that.
You guys are in a lot of places.
We are.
You're allowed to.
My goodness gracious.
We have doppelgangers.
No, it was doppelgamers.
Ah, yes. Meanwhile,
that didn't work out.
Nope. Basically, here's an example of some of the stuff we're going to read today. Here's a quote from Mal Vincent from the Virginia Pilot. We all know that. Or
okay.
we all know that publication.
Yeah.
One of the more witless movies of the year, a failure both as a comedy and as a horror entry.
What were they entering it into?
I don't know.
I
guess
just into the library of the world.
Yeah, the ethos.
This is clearly someone who doesn't like Bill Murray.
Yeah, for sure. It's
or horror or comedy.
Or comedy. I mean,
this person has no soul.
Man, it's really got to suck to fail at both, because that's all they were doing.
They love docudramas, though.
Wouldn't it be weird if we read the entire review and it was like, but what a success at romance. Wow. This is the regular breakfast at Tiffany's. This is the next Sleepless in Seattle.
Yeah.
It's Undead in Seattle is what this is.
Seattle.
Well, let's take a look at the main
brains.
You got brains.
Wow,
I love that. That's great.
That's good.
Well, this review...
Yes, we are looking at the Charleston City Paper. This is going to be our main review that we take a look at, where we read the full thing. Later on, you're going to hear some audience reviews that we're going to make fun of, and a funny little segment we call Fake Fact.
It says, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia Feaster?
Felicia Feaster, yeah. This
Which
is Charleston.
A super zombie name.
Yes, Charleston City Paper is what it was, right? Zombieland feels like Ferris Bueller's Day of the Dead is the title, and then it says Teenage Wasteland.
Can we have that? Can we Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter Ferris Bueller's Day of the Dead?
I would
think
love
that would be amazing.
That would be great.
Yeah,
but I think that's what this person based their whole review on. They're like, I've got a good title.
Yeah,
I don't have anything beyond.
How many
this,
times have I brought up Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer in this
not
podcast?
enough times, man.
I would just love. I would love it if to have one of the characters right before he kills a zombie be like, "Pardon my French, but you're an asshole."
Wow.
Why are there two titles? It's that title, and then underneath it says Teenage Wasteland. All right, let's move on.
All right.
Yeah, I don't know.
Zombieland shares a sensibility that should be familiar to video gamers. It aims for as high a body count as possible, all in an exploration of the maximum number of ways that the bodies of the living dead can be reduced to jelly.
Oh, familiar to video games or every other zombie movie?
Yeah, every zombie movie.
Yeah.
In fact, Robert Kirkman, who made Walking Dead, in an interview said, "Oh, the most fun thing about every new season is that we get to sit down and figure out fun ways to kill them."
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's the point. That's what makes it fun.
Yeah, it's really strange that these new movies are copying off of video games and introducing high body counts into their horror films.
Because Lord
strange.
knows the zombie video game or the video game in general came out before the zombie movie.
Exactly.
Right?
I mean, Pong was violent.
It was.
It would be like Resident Evil -30.
Yeah.
Set in a post-apocalyptic America where zombies run amok and human beings appear to be few and far between, similar to every zombie movie, Zombieland takes the point of view of misfit Columbus, Michael Cera knockoff Jesse Eisenberg.
I mean, you're not wrong.
You're not wrong about
Felicia,
that.
you're not wrong.
A Judd Apatow-style social klutz who battles the undead. Okay. The zombie genre has come a long way from the days of George Romero's terminally creepy Night of the Living Dead, most notably in the way that humor has become a feature of the postmodern zombie film.
That's not true. I mean, it is somewhat, but you can also have postmodern modern zombie not be that?
Yeah, it doesn't always have humor in it.
Right. They're just talking about like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
But that's every zombie movie.
Remember when Carl's mom died in Walking Dead? That was hilarious. Remember the running and the screaming and the torment and the father's lost and man.
Oh, what a blast.
Hilarity.
A hoot nanny.
To me, this is someone who jumped right from Night of the Living Dead to Shaun of the Dead and didn't realize there's other stuff.
And I'm sure that's likely what it really
Might
is.
actually be true.
Right.
I'm sure Felicia has not had to watch a whole lot of these for...
Yeah, because someone was like, I'm not really into zombie movies, but people seem to be talking about this Shaun of the Dead thing. Okay, Felicia. But director Ruben Fleischer's Zombieland is especially comprehensive, combining elements of many genres. Fleischer was aided and abetted by screenwriters Rhett Reese and Paul Wernick. It took 2 people to write this.
Apparently, were they credited? Then it did.
Yes.
I mean, it took 1 to write this.
It took 12 to write Umbrella.
Right.
And that was just a plug and play loop.
Yeah. I mean, this could have been a plug and play. I feel like you could have just put the name of the movie and who's in it into it like an auto generator, and it would just make this review.
Yeah.
So,
Jesse Eisenberg, Woody Harrelson, zombies. Thank you. There you go.
And by far the worst thing about critics ever is that they critique something they can't do.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's the worst thing. That's why Roger Ebert at least was a badass, because he's made a film.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know he's made
and
a
he's
film.
it's Valley of the Dolls, man. He has an understanding.
Weird ass movie.
Yeah, but he has an understanding that it takes more than like one person to make it, and that when you're insulting the work, you're insulting like 5 billion people.
But it shouldn't take more than one person to write the script.
Of course. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Shakespeare couldn't even write
Shame
all
on
this
the
shit.
Wachowskis.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I bet you love the Coen brothers, Felicia. It's a road movie about Columbus's effort to return to Columbus, Ohio, to reunite with his parents. Characters are named for their hometown. Thanks for that. I mean,
necessary.
I guess.
But
Felicia's like, I actually caught that in this.
Yeah,
movie.
weird
It
place
was
to
pretty
put that,
cool.
and not like, oh yeah, I should put that in and go back up to the top where it was first mentioned.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't follow with like one of the characters' name is Columbus, and he's going to Columbus.
Right.
I think we could figure it out from there.
Yeah.
And if we can't,
It's like at the end of the Bible going, oh, it's technically pronounced Jesus. Nah, I gotta go read the whole thing again.
Come on. It's also a buddy
Jesus.
picture about the goofy teen and the tough as nails zombie killing Twinkie loving renegade Tallahassee, Woody Harrelson, that Columbus meets along the way. See, my thing immediately when I hear that is, how can you not instantly love this movie knowing that there's a character that you can describe like that?
Right. Also, you could have just said Woody Harrelson.
We would have known the rest.
We know that that's him in real life.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. Also, Twinkie loving makes me uncomfortable.
A little bit.
A video game playing shut-in, Columbus gets out of his shell thanks to the gentle bitch slapping of Tallahassee, who not only drives a weapon-filled Escalade around the decimated landscape, but plays Hardy to Columbus's Laurel. When was this written? Way to connect to the youth. You know what I mean? Like, they'll get this reference, right?
Right.
The millennials.
I had to
think.
think Hardy. Oh, Hardy
Right.
and Laurel.
Laurel and Hardy.
Got it.
They're back from the
Wait, which way is
in
it
the
supposed to be
silent
said?
movie days. I think they started.
What's that?
Which way is it supposed to be said?
Laurel and Hardy.
Laurel.
Then I even got more confused.
Yeah, well, she
Stan
has to
Laurel
call
and
one of the
Oliver
like.
Hardy.
She was likening their personalities, so she had to reverse it, which confuses you even more.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't even think that. I guess that works.
But they could have. She could have easily picked a duo that people would recognize.
Right.
I mean, say Will Smith and Martin Lawrence
True.
from Bad Boys. Say freaking Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and DJ Jazzy Jeff, anyone that like millennials might go, oh yeah.
I don't know if millennials know about DJ Jazzy Jeff so much.
Yeah, that you dated yourself.
You
a little
just
bit
dated
right there.
yourself a tiny bit.
I mean, they definitely would.
Yeah?
They just said, "Isn't it nice that Missy Elliott was brought up by Katy Perry?"
That's not millennials though.
Oh yeah, fair. Millennials.
Yeah,
millennials are
you're right.
We are
We're
millennials.
That's Generation Z.
I'm so busy looking down on millennials,
Yeah,
I
man.
forgot I'm one of them. Technically. Those bastards are lazy. That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Yeah. How long did you play Rocket League today?
Go hey, you lazy bastard! Go get a job, me. All right, let's keep going. In the long-standing tradition of such buddy movies, two things happen to the men, both utterly expected. Columbus grows a pair, and Tallahassee softens up and lets down his guard. And people get disappointed that people continue these stories that people continue to love. I don't get that.
And did you just ruin the movie?
I think so, but I mean, even if you know it's going to happen, that's the beauty of the typical story.
I mean, the twist would be that not happening.
Right, but the beauty of the typical story, right? Mm-hmm. Like the hero's journey, or in this case, the buddy situation, or like the guy who's popular and the girl who's not, and she teaches him to be a fucking human being, and he teaches her to come out of her shell, right? Like all of those things. The joy of it isn't that we're like, what's going to happen? The joy of it is, how are we going to get there?
Right.
And that's why it's fun. So like, I'm so tired of people complaining that like these things happen again. And it's like, they're supposed to, because that's not what you get the enjoyment out of.
Yeah. Those damn millenniuses.
Right? Millenniuses.
That's good.
Zombieland is also a love story. Oh, we got to the romance part. In which Columbus tries to woo sexy teenager Wichita. Emma Stone. I don't
like how that was read.
Me neither. The two partners in zombie killing meet Wichita and her little sister Little Rock, Abigail Breslin, when the girls hoodwink the fellas out of their Escalade.
I don't like this paragraph.
Me neither. Assault vehicle before eventually teaming up with the boys. Yeah, let's move on. That paragraph was horrible.
That paragraph made me uncomfortable.
Yep. And finally, Zombieland is a self-referential treatise on the zombie film.
Oh, I thought that said treatsy.
I also thought treaties.
As every post-Shaun of the Dead zombie film now seems to be.
So she's seen 2 other zombie movies confirmed.
Well,
the ones that you said.
Well, here's the thing. You ready?
Uh-huh.
Name another one that does that.
Zombie movie.
After Shaun of the Dead. Name another one that does that. I'll wait.
I'm having a really hard time thinking.
I haven't seen Tucker and Dale. Is there zombies in that?
That's no zombies in that movie.
There's no zombies in that.
Okay.
There's no demons.
There's not. There's
Evil Dead?
Yeah.
It's like a
Evil Dead is before
the new
that.
one?
That's a remake of something that happened before it.
The TV series?
Wait, the Evil Dead is not zombies.
Okay. No, that's a demonic thing as well.
Yeah. I tried.
You're doing
good.
I'm proud of
it. It's actually hard to do. She's acting like this happens all the time in every single movie, and it really doesn't.
What's new, Scooby-Doo?
Oh, you know what she is thinking of?
What?
I'm being serious. Mm-hmm. There are like Fido and
I've seen Fido.
Warm Bodies,
but those aren't.
But that's not.
Those aren't self-referential.
They're not self-referential.
Yeah,
I don't know. I haven't seen either.
Warm Bodies is good,
and so is Fido.
But are they self-referential?
No, they're interesting. They're interesting takes on the zombie idea.
Right.
Then I don't know what she's thinking of.
I don't either.
I hadn't seen either.
What's
of those,
the Christmas musical one?
Oh, Anna and the Apocalypse.
Anna and the Apocalypse.
That came out well after this.
What's that one on
So
Netflix?
This person reviewed this before that even came out.
Yeah.
So I can't.
What about iZombie?
If you're watching on YouTube and not listening to the podcast, put in the comments what she might be talking about, because we don't know.
But it's every movie.
But it's every movie. It's not that easy to name. Zombieland opens with Columbus's voiceover narration as he ticks off a core set of rules for not becoming zombie lunch. Things like always looking in the back seat and never assuming your first zombie strike has killed the beast. The rules float over the action like footnotes, and offer an initially witty, imaginative way of lampooning all those unspoken movie rules we embrace like sacrament.
I just have to back up a second because now I'm upset that she's talking about self-referential, like saying post Shaun of the Dead when Shaun of the Dead isn't the first one to do it. So that's post the Return of the Living Dead series and stuff. So like they've been doing that for as long as for 30 years.
Well, here's something funny.
Are you okay?
I'm just going to stop it, Felicia.
But here's something funny. We can talk about what you're talking about right now with this paragraph because she just said, I don't like that they were self-referential, but then she said, the rules floating as footnotes that tell you what you're supposed to do and literally are self-referential were an imaginative thing, and I liked it at first. So I liked the self-referential thing at first.
And at first, it's not even... they use it heavily right in the beginning, and then it kind of falls off, and then kind of pops back.
And it pops back up every once in a while. But more than anything, Zombieland is a teenage fantasy come to life. A Ferris Bueller's Day Off featuring the undead and a set of heroes who tool the ravaged countryside in supersized Cadillacs and brandish guns, chainsaws, and garden tillers as they destroy legions of flesh eaters. Zombieland operates from the mildly antisocial thrill of endless destruction and an absence of role models conveniently eliminated in the zombie apocalypse. I mean, kind of, but not really. I mean, a lot of them are trying to survive. A lot of them are trying to find family and realizing that they're dead.
I don't remember like the
Bill Murray
chainsaws and stuff and the Cadillacs.
I mean, they destroy things.
Sure.
But who wouldn't?
Chainsaw.
I don't remember.
But I mean,
was there a chainsaw? There wasn't a chainsaw in this
I think there was a chainsaw.
I think there was a chainsaw
that wasn't
moment.
I don't remember.
I don't remember. But I mean, this is just a nonsensical thing because if you're going to make a zombie movie, right, where the apocalypse has already happened and most of the people are dead and you're just trying to survive, I mean, two of them were completely alone. And there were no people, and the first people they found were each other and then these two other people, right? So they're not finding a lot of people, you know? And if that ends up being the case, then you're going to do anything you can to survive. And the way that you live is going to drastically change, and you're going to be... It's funny to be like, the mildly antisocial thrill. It's hard to be social when no one's around, and if they are, they're trying to kill you.
They're undead people. But I just remember World War Z. That's the one she's talking about.
World War Z?
Yeah, because that one's all...
What'll laugh a minute?
Yeah, that was hysterical.
Yeah, it was a funny one.
I especially love the after the credits bloopers that they...
Exactly. But they do in every Brad Pitt feature.
Exactly.
He's just a hoot.
You heard it here, folks.
Brad Pitt is a hoot.
The film's heroes hole up in a Hollywood mansion, joyfully destroy the tacky curios at a Native American tourist trap, drink fancy wine from the bottle, and go to deserted amusement parks.
One amusement park.
Yeah, and also something... Yeah, one amusement park for sure, but also something that not just a child or a youth would do, but anyone... Yeah. Anyone, because you need some semblance of joy and humanity when you're living in a world where everything's trying to fucking kill you.
Absolutely.
Right. It makes so much sense. It literally brings out the human of you. That's why the zombie story is so iconic. Uber Geek Columbus even entertains the idea of hooking up with haughty Wichita. What? Since the rest of the male population has been reduced to The Walking Dead, Columbus's chances are pretty good. Even though... I feel like I want to read this to be like, since the rest of the male population has been reduced to Walking Dead, Columbus' chances are pretty good, even though we know from the super bad school of romantic fiction that the geek always gets the babe in the end.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Yeah, right.
She saw super bad also.
Yes, she probably thought there were zombies in it. But like the period blood scene, she's like, say zombies. Like, no. I don't think you get movies or humans. Zombieland can be fun at times in the manner of the Three Stooges. Way to keep throwing those current references for everybody. Oh man. And snowball fights. At least some people can understand snowball fights.
Oh, it's so good.
Man, he's a regular Buster Keaton. It's like, what?
Yeah, his good old Red Skelton.
We're good old Red Skelton. You know, right, kids? Oh man. I haven't seen a movie like this since the last time I saw Bob Hope.
Man, I'm expecting her to write about the good old days of blackface.
Yeah, exactly, right?
No.
Remember that? Mm-hmm. It's anarchic, ridiculous, and pointless. The best part, I hate the pointless thing.
As is every movie.
Every movie's pointless.
Yes.
Everything's pointless.
It's supposed to bring emotions. That's the whole point.
And it did. It definitely brought emotions.
Yeah, make you think and have emotions. That's all any movie or art should do in the first place. Unless it's functional art, like it's actually doing something, you know?
Yeah.
The best part of the movie may be midway through when the four zombie refugees find haven in a plush Beverly Hills mansion. Zombieland's film studio, Columbia Pictures, has warned critics not to reveal the megastar who lives in that mansion and makes a cameo on screen. Apparently viewing it as some life-changing linchpin on which the success or failure of their film hinges. Or they don't want to ruin it.
Yeah,
Right.
They want it to be a surprise.
Yeah, I think calling it a linchpin that's going to make or break your film is pretty
Also,
stupid.
Bitching about it in your review to basically get away with saying something
Yeah.
is
I
kind of a
think
dick
you're
move.
spot on right now. I think that's the only reason that she even made this
Right.
part of this review.
Yeah. She's just upset.
Trying
that
to
she
say it
can't-
without saying it.
Yeah.
Right.
That-
You won't let me do this. Meh.
Meh, yeah. But you kind of did at the same time.
Right, exactly. The warning also turns film critics into creepy cohorts helping to fulfill the corporate objectives of a movie studio. Now, you could have said nothing. Literally, you could have said nothing about that scene.
Yeah.
Nothing about it. You didn't have to mention it. You made yourself mention it. You became a corporate shill just now. And you did it. Like, you were the one who made that happen.
Yeah, and
Right.
and you're acting like they like are creating, like making you do something that you're not agreeing to anyway. There are certain things you don't mention about other movies. There's twists that you don't mention in your job that is part of your basic contract of being a film critic.
Right.
Like, that's stupid to be like, you're being made to do something that you wouldn't normally do.
No,
like
okay.
that some ethical dilemma has come up because Felicia, you and I need to talk about this after
I did.
this.
Just, I just searched the webpage to
Yeah,
see
I
if
saw
she
it
tried
to
to
see
stick
if she
Bill
tried to
Murray
stick it in
in there
there.
somewhere.
Also, there's a lot to be said about, you know, the fact that just anybody who ruins a movie for anybody sucks, right? Like, if you just I mean, there's a time period, like if it's 5 years later, like, fuck it, at this point you didn't see it, whatever.
Yeah.
It's something we can talk about in the ether, and someone might end up hearing it. You're just gonna have to deal.
Well, I mean, for
Right.
me, I
Well, that was
I
you
just
going
saw,
through Game of Thrones.
Sure. Well, that's a little bit different because I was seeing it and people were saying things about seasons before, like current. I don't know.
Yeah.
With this, like I've seen bits and pieces of that scene. Like, this is different than having it written right when it came out. You know.
Well, that's
Right.
the thing. But that being said, it's like anyone doing that, not just a critic. Like, that sucks.
Yeah.
That
I bet she has a video somewhere floating around right now that she's recorded going to Costco yelling at people for not letting her in without a mask.
Probably.
That seems like that type of person.
That's probably the case. And
You're saying Felicia is a Heather?
and then
Whoa!
Well-
Not on the stream, dude. We'll get demonetized,
oh
bro.
my god. Also, when she finally gets forced to put on the mask on it says Bill Murray's in Zombieland. It's like, if you're gonna make me wear it, then I'm gonna ruin a fucking movie.
I'm no corporate shill.
I'm no corporate shill. God damn it.
I used to do drugs in college.
Columbia probably should have expended more energy on fine-tuning the often sophomoric script, because Zombieland's special top secret guest star adds a degree of imagination to the script that only serves to point out how emaciated the writing is at other moments. If Columbia had any sense, they would play up this star cameo
by creating an aura of like, I wonder who could be in it and not telling us.
Like what they should do.
I've never heard nah for so long just now.
Right. Hey, if you ruin this surprise, this party would have been way better.
Yeah.
This surprise party.
Yeah.
It's like knowing someone's going to ask you to marry them. That's what you're doing. You're you're ruining like the biggest surprise of the thing.
And to be fair, to be very, very fair.
Why?
If the 4 leads of this film weren't enough to go, hey, maybe I'll go see that. Mm-hmm. If they really needed that one last name, that's ridiculous.
Well,
right.
I mean, I understand that not everybody's running out to see the next Abigail Breslin movie, but Woody Harrelson can sell tickets. I'm sorry. He has before.
But so has Emma
to be
Stone.
fair,
And
she's caring about Bill Murray, but then also putting in references of the Three Stooges and whoever the hell the other people were.
Yeah, Bill Murray's the most modern thing she's talking about.
This is true.
The guy who starts on Saturday Night Live in the 70s is literally the most modern thing. Let's see how this ends.
Yeah.
Zombieland is kitsch.
Kitsch.
I hate that word.
Yeah, I now hate it.
Yeah.
This ruined it for me.
It doesn't even look right.
It doesn't even look right. Whose veneer of irony doesn't match. It doesn't mean it isn't kitsch. This is a movie, after all, that pumps up its audience on the thrill value of zombies whose heads are crushed like overripe grapes and who get brained with car doors, fall from great distances onto concrete, and then closes with the message about the importance of family. How sweet?
I respectfully reject your double negatives and your attitude, Felicia.
Please be a picture. Please be a
This
picture.
is just... I don't think that was Felicia.
No,
if it was,
for those of you who is watching it on
everything
YouTube
back.
are going to see what happened.
Yeah, I take everything back.
That was great.
Yeah, because apparently Felicia looks like if Sacha Baron Cohen was playing the Monopoly guy.
Oh, is that her? She's pretty.
I don't know.
Yeah, that looks like it's her. Sure.
Whatever.
I mean, honestly, this is just a person who
that's what's his face?
Yeah. What's his face?
This is someone who had to write about this movie. She was required because of her job, but she does not know anything about this genre and does not like this genre.
I don't know. I think she might. She's seen all of the
Shaun of
crazy
the Dead.
zombie movies that came out post Shaun of the
She
Dead.
certainly knows more about zombie movies than we do because she cannot name way more than we cannot name.
This is very, very true.
I mean, if the zombie movies, if it was like Laurel and Hardy meet the undead, maybe she's not.
I mean, that is a wonderful topic for the horror thing we were gonna do, where you sort out things that are untrue. We should go around and ask, after Shaun of the Dead, did it spawn just a ton of these movies that were self-referential, stupid comedies about zombie movies? And I bet people are gonna be like, yeah, we are sick of these.
And then you go, name one, and they go, I have to leave now.
Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, my laundry's burning.
Oh, man.
And now's the time when we read fake facts about Zombieland. You're welcome. There were 34 rules for the zombie apocalypse written for this film. Number 33 is don't prank people holding guns. And of course, number 34 is there is definitely Zombieland porn. And it's called Cumbyland Double Fap. and it stars Jesse Eisenberg, Emma Bone, Abigail Breslin, and we don't have to change Woody Harrelson to make it funny.
The mansion in the film was not actually Bill Murray's house. Bill Murray has no actual home. The world is his home, and he travels it, making everyone's lives fuller with every step, because he's better than you.
Jesse Eisenberg wanted to be in this film to work with Emma Stone. Stone was disappointed halfway through shooting when she realized Eisenberg wasn't her good friend, Michael Cera.
This has been Fake Facts about Zombieland. I love the fact that, like, before this, I wrote a fake fact about Michael Cera, and before that, you mentioned the Michael Cera when we were watching this movie, and then it ends up being in the review that none of us have read.
Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Well, now's the fun part, because all of that wasn't fun. It's been a half an hour of fun.
This has been my favorite episode of this.
Heck yeah. I love it. We are going to read audience reviews from Rotten Tomatoes, and these are always the best because
people know how to write.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's funny
People
because
bought keyboards.
sometimes they're ridiculous, but they're also like sometimes just better than their critics. So who knows what we're about to see?
Right.
Let's do it.
Sorry.
Why don't you start there, Jared?
All right.
Good yawn.
Excuse
I thought you said
me.
this was the best podcast episode you've
He's
had.
had so much fun he got tired.
I did. I've been laughing so hard the whole time. All right, Anthony, what you got for us? 2 stars. Another derivative comedy zombie apocalypse with all the same tired physical gags and sophomoric one-liners. It is not original, and despite the A-list lineup, is no better than many of the low-budget entries into this overused genre. My guess is that this movie will be made into a video game since they already have all the necessary action shots. How does
Felicia?
that...
Is that you?
Anthony Felicia.
Is the F for Felicia? Are you a bald man with a mustache? Also,
That's
Anthony,
so perfect.
way to make the same shitty review, but
At least you didn't waste our
it was
time.
a minute of reading at the most, and that's fantastic. So,
By
we
the way,
appreciate
Zombieland Double Tap is available on Steam.
that. Oh, very nice. On Steam? The game, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony, you're not wrong.
You're not
my
wrong about
friend.
the video game thing. And man, I'm just...
Wait, but that was also March 28th, 2020. So that video game likely came out before he wrote that, which means maybe he's even seen it somewhere.
He might have read Felicia's review. But
Possibly.
like, you know what? I'm just going to summarize.
Yes.
It's the cliff notes of reviews.
All right, I'll see what Andy K has to say.
Let's see what he has to say.
Boring, cliche, and bad casting. As funny as drinking a cup of chamomile tea whilst reading the dictionary.
You can't say as funny as and then make a shitty joke. You're not allowed to do that. Your joke following as funny as has to be funny.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the as funny as doesn't work. That
Right.
I'm sorry. That just at that point you should just be like, it wasn't funny, and then walk away. Like,
I also
Drinking
really
a
like
cup of
chamomile
chamomile tea while scratching grandma's ass?
but I guess
Does that work?
No, because that would be funny or
Yeah.
disturbing. I mean, I get what you're
if she's
saying,
dead?
but moving on.
What if she's dead?
Absolutely ridiculous movie. How does this movie have any positive reviews? Well, Mark, not everyone is you. That's how.
Thank Christ.
Yes. I'm sorry, but you know what? If you want to go shopping, you're going to have to wear the fucking mask. Jesus.
That says Bill Murray's in Zombieland.
Bill Murray is in Zombieland. Exactly. Oh, man. You know, I got to say, you guys are acting like a regular Laurel today.
True.
Is that who
To
that is?
someone-
I don't fucking know.
Yeah. Is this
The
me?
Sklar brothers?
Sure. They're the same though, so you can't. That's funny. Sure. Go for it, Wink.
There's no name on this review. Had the boys round and everyone fell asleep.
Half a star.
I feel like you need to have a little more bro in how you read that.
Had the boys round and everyone fell asleep.
See, I was hearing that.
Even Tommy. I was thinking it was like
Tommy
a mother.
doesn't. Yeah.
You were thinking it was like a mother?
Yeah.
I immediately went to Southern accent.
Oh.
Had the boys
Had the
round.
boys around. Everyone fell asleep.
I like the
Couldn't
bro.
be
I like the
good.
bro one. Like, even Tommy, and Tommy was on White Claw.
Right?
Is anyone on White Claw?
I'm sure they say that.
Oh, that's awful.
That's just how bros know the English language.
I should drink a White Claw.
5 stars. There's a Metallica song.
Best review ever. Yes.
We don't. That's. Thank you.
What I would love is that this person goes to any movie that has a Metallica song. He goes 5 stars Metallica song, 5 stars Metallica song, and then it's like 3 stars Dio song.
Yes.
If you don't know who Dio is, you definitely don't know who Laurel and Hardy is.
I still don't.
Still don't. I love this review.
It's a great follow-up to there's a Metallica
This is the
song.
last one. Yeah, but it's 2 stars, so it's so confusing. 2 stars. This is from Samantha. Well, Emma Stone is in it. I don't know if she took away 3 stars or gave it 2 stars because of Emma Stone.
I took it like 2 stars immediately if Emma Stone's in it, but that's all there was. Like, so any movie that she sees, automatic 2 stars on top of the movie.
But you can also argue that she was like, well, Emma Stone's in it, and I fucking hate her.
Yeah,
and then you take the 3 away.
It's like trying to read emotions via text. It's
Right.
like, am I fired or did I get a raise?
Does she want me to come over? There's so many things. There's so many scenarios you can put that.
Yeah.
Is Dad dead?
I tried to read the name to see if that might help me understand it, but that made it harder to understand.
Yeah, because all you can think about is that woman from the Daily Show who ended up with her own show.
Oh,
No,
Samantha
because
Bee?
that's
Samantha Bee.
But
No,
this
but
is
it's
Samantha
Samitha.
B. Yeah.
I read it right wrong. Okay.
And right round.
Samitha.
Yeah.
Samitha.
Wow. Isn't that stuff that helps you when you have gas?
Samithicon?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, that's our show, everybody. Thank you so much for listening or watching, depending on where you are. If you are listening on any of the podcast locations, make sure you subscribe so that you know when new stuff is coming out. And if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe as well. Hit the bell, comment, like, do all the stuff. And also, don't forget, we watch this on Twitch. And we're going to watch more movies on Twitch on Saturdays. So make sure you join us there. It's Boss Level 8 is the name that is under. And that is also the name of the YouTube channel, if you did not know. This has been Critique the Critics. Thank you so much. Until we see you next time, geek out and game on.
Do that.